Ahmed?
Ahmed.
What?
Buddy?
What?
We have stuff to do.
No, leave me alone.
Ahmed!
We have a podcast.
No, I just got the pin for show.
No, Ahmed.
We have to go!
No, we don't.
We're already late!
It's fine.
Ahmed, get off.
Because
No,
I'm
it's
out for a
not!
week.
Get over here! Give me the controller!
No,
Give me!
let go of my arm.
Give me the controller!
We have to do the podcast.
Mike, grab him!
No! And welcome back to This Podcast Ends With You, the show that I love to do. I would never make an excuse not to do it, ever. Nope. But wait a sec. This sounds a bit off. Maybe we should make a change. Much better. On episode 11 of This Podcast Ends With You, this will be our spoiler-free review of Neo The World Ends With You. So if you guys got any friends or any people who came in new to the game or you don't want to be spoiled, don't worry, this stream is completely safe to watch and enjoy from YouTube or from your preferred podcast platform. And as ever, I want to give a special shout out to our kind and generous Patreons, including Kyle Turpike, Krista Ventresca, Dark Dude, Saimatsu Shipper, Shin Kojin, Setislow, RSB, Willow, and Exilra. Thank you all very much for your continued support. Without further ado, please enjoy this episode of the podcast with you, and stay tuned at the end for a special surprise. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life, or a Neo life, as it were, ladies and gentlemen. The day we have been waiting for 14 goddamn years has come. Well, assuming you bought the game on launch. Assuming you bought the original TWEWY on launch, you've been waiting for it in years. If you're like me or NTWEWY, you're probably waiting like 8 or 9. If you're mine, you've been waiting exactly 16 months. So
2 years, okay.
2 years.
Just to be clear, I bought the original TWEWY on launch day.
Okay, whatever, Grandpa. All right, you sit in your rocking chair. Because guess what, everybody?
I am an old man. Thank you. I'm the oldest of the crew.
You are. You're like, it's weird. Like we have a, I think there's like a solid 2 or 3 year age difference between all of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because, Neku's 27, I'm 46, and Mai is 89. So it's really nice to be nice and the dive. You know what? I didn't check if it was okay.
You should introduce us, Ahmed.
I mean, you know what? I feel like you're questioning my judgment and my competency as a host, Neku. Okay, I'm gonna have to let you.
I feel like I'm questioning your dementia.
It's welcome back to This Podcast Ends With You. It's me, Burnt Toast. That's my rapper name from now on. It's your boy, Burnt Toast. But
episode's already gone down a hole.
But also more colloquially on the internet known as Amadeus _. I am joined by my friends, family. My internet family, consisting of Myra Zed.
Hello.
And also Osmaneku.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone.
Hello, although it is pretty consistently evening for everyone right now.
For you.
Fun fact: this is pre-recorded. Which I mean, if I was smart when I was restreaming this, I would say this was recorded. But in case I wasn't, I'm not very smart. But it is what it is. I should really get to the point, shouldn't I? Because
probably.
I said this would be a short one, and if I keep rambling like this, it's not gonna be a short one.
We said this would be short. I doubt that it will be.
So basically, guys, what the plan is today is that this is the podcast episode that you show to your friends when you want to show them how happy people are about this Neo The World Ends With You coming out. This will be our Neo The World Ends With You spoiler-free review. So we're going to be talking about basically our thoughts about the game and all different aspects without talking about spoilers. The podcast will be taking a bit of a different turn from here on out regarding spoilers, in that we will be extremely careful when saying any spoilers about Neo or about the original game, because we're kind of anticipating that there's some new people coming into the fandom, and therefore some people might want to be unspoiled on everything. So we are going to be adopting a little bit of a different approach. We'll be very clear whenever we're using spoilers. So we hope if you are new to the podcast and you're new to The World Ends With You and you're played Neo and you want to join in the community and listen to something, welcome. I hope you guys enjoy your stay. And we'll start today by, again, doing our spoiler-free review. And then we're going to be talking about a little bit of news and a little bit about merch. And then we're going to move on with our lives. Let it be known that I said that this episode will hopefully take less than an hour. So,
Somebody clip that and play it back to us later, please.
I can't wait to jinx myself, as it were. As for
I
why,
can't wait to jinx the podcast again.
it's so consistent. It's insanely consistent how it happens. Also,
It's so bad.
I should mention we are pre-recording this.
You already did.
No, we are. Don't hit me with time travel shenanigans. All right,
you disagreed.
Keep your time traveling shenanigans out of my podcast. All right, I've been seeing enough of that as of late. You know what? Let's just get started. Where do we get? The thing is like there's a lot to say, right? About Neo: The World Ends With You, and why it's important to us, and how we feel about the game. Let's start by just general impressions. When I tell you how do you feel about Neo: The World Ends With You, Neku, how do you feel about Neo: The World Ends With You?
10 out of 10, best game. Moving on.
I am shocked. Every day you surprise me more, Neku. I wasn't expecting.
Every day. Every day.
My quick one sentence review.
9 out of 10. It has. I've gone through the whole thing. I still have questions. But it was fantastic. It was really good.
To be fair, it's going to be a series now. There has to be extra
there
questions.
Has to be. Yeah.
That's fair.
So if you're killing it a 9 for that reason, I disagree with you entirely.
There's also just a couple things that I'm basically just salty about dive missions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we'll get to those.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to this.
As for me, this is my game of the year. I'm just gonna say it. Right now, I haven't finished the game yet, but it is on track to being my favorite game of all time. Period. As for why, we're gonna get to that. Starting off, just a reminder, of course, this is a spoiler-free review, so we'll not be talking about spoilers at all in this review. With that being said, we're gonna start by talking about the story. Okay, moving on, we're gonna talk about the graphics. The graphics of the game are... We can't. Okay.
Ahmed.
How do we talk about the story without spoiling anything, though?
We don't talk about the story. We talk about the characters. We just don't say any names.
Thank you, Azuma Neku, for providing solutions by blatantly reading off the script. Thank you.
Isn't that my job?
I mean, kinda. In the story of Near the Ones With You, there are humans. Yep, there are definitely human beings. Buildings also.
Very pretty buildings.
I believe I saw a car. There is food. I don't know how to spoiler-free describe the story of Near the Ones With You. That's all I'm saying. But play it. It's pretty good. If you played the original, basically it's about the Reaper's game, which is slightly different from the original game. And a group of friends. Just look, don't worry about it. The story's good. All right, just take our word on it. The story's good, and the story's very gripping. And I say that not just as somebody who loves the story of the base game. Sorry, the base game from OG TWEWY, but also just from people who have hopped in from Neo. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I'll let mine go first.
I was gonna let you go first.
Ladies first, go.
No. Well, the story. That's the question. How do I? Right?
How are you two struggling this hard with this?
I'm fine, smart guy. How are you describe the story of this game without spoiling it? Go.
You don't talk about the story. You talk about the characters in it.
All right. Here's actually something about the story we should talk about real quick. I've had people talk to me asking, can they just hop into this game without knowing anything about OG TWEWY? I don't know. I mean,
I don't recommend.
You can, right?
I have a direct answer for that question.
Here's my answer. You can do that, but you'd be missing out on so much surprise and so many good stuff, because this game definitely also... This game is like a massive love letter to TWEWY fans, to be honest with you. The way the game is written and the amount of references there in it to OG TWEWY, this is definitely a big part of this game is a love letter to the people who have loved this game so much. And
just to continue.
And just like you're missing out on a lot, and if you haven't played the original. Although I will say, if you don't want to play the original, I think watching the anime is also adequate. There's definitely still like small nuggets of like small hidden nuggets that you'll be missing, but if you want to get the gist of the story and understand like sort of the big twists and really have them hit you, and you don't have the time or ability to play OG TWEWY, I think the anime is a suitable replacement. But I highly recommend the experience one or the other.
Or watch a playthrough on YouTube. That's also valid.
Yeah, sure. Being a coward is always an option.
Wow, way to just insult how I got into this fandom. Okay.
Yeah, you heard me.
Oh,
you heard me. You think I didn't know? No, I'm just kidding.
I got nothing on that one. I'll let Maya finish her piece and then I'll shout.
I highly recommend playing OG TWEWY before you play this game.
Or watching it.
Or watching it. I definitely think that you should, just in terms of story, you really need to... It's a sequel. Through and through.
Yeah. I agree. It is definitely a sequel.
Yeah, it will ruin some of the surprises in the original.
Yeah. Neku?
So you can play this game without playing the original. It is not as a fulfilling as an experience if you don't play or know the original.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This game still stands on its own 2 feet and it does very, very well. I'm not getting into story beyond that. But playing the original will make the game hit harder. But it's still good.
Yeah, like it does have its own plot, but it does have like the side plot where it's a sequel. So like, yeah, it can, but like kind of like exactly what you're saying. Like it's far more fulfilling playing OG and then coming here.
For sure. For sure, I agree. We can't talk about the story. We can, however, talk about the general writing that is in this game.
It's good.
It's still good.
It's phenomenal.
It's good. It's TWEWY.
I think it's really, really good. The character interactions are really, really well written. You know what? I'm not gonna steal the points. Actually, you know what, Maya, you talk about this first.
The character interactions were very adorable. I'm not going to name.
It's okay. I'll change all the words, but it's okay. You know, I'm not salty. Good, please continue.
They felt real. And just like certain interactions between like certain characters, you can see just kind of like the development between not only them but also themselves. Because like the whole thing about like the World Ends With You is that the characters, like, they help each other out and make each other grow, and it still is there in this game, and I'm so glad that they kept that for this game, because that's part of the charm of TWEWY.
Yeah, it's interesting actually, because it's slightly, because it's less intimate here, right? Because it's not just two people; it's more than that. But I feel like, yeah, I feel like, as you said, it's more. Actually, I should have mentioned this at the top. These two turkeys have already finished the game. I have not.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think for both Maya and I, it took 3 to 4 days.
Yeah. Whereas I've been very busy and I'm only like a little ways into the game. Not too.
By the way,
far
Maya and I are both running on like 3 hours of sleep for the last 4 days.
Okay, this is optimal podcast recording conditions.
Yeah, and to go even further, I've finished the post game. Neku has not.
Because I'm an idiot who decided to play the game twice.
What a fool! Everyone point and laugh at the fool. Well, yes, yeah. Keep going. So you're saying, the character interactions are really strong. Neku, anything to add on to that?
This TWEWY, to me, is a coming of age story. Does anyone disagree with that statement?
I can't agree with it. I haven't played enough. But sure. Yeah, sure. What do you say?
Well, no, just like the original 2 is what I mean.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
This game carries that spirit incredibly well. And because this game is now becoming a franchise, I want them to continue with this motif because it's their strong suit. They know what they're doing with this type of story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So please continue to do this, and you will continue to please anyone who picks up one of these games, because this game will affect you like the original did.
Yep. I think the main thing I want to say about the writing, I want to say 2 things about the writing mainly. First of all, one of my favorite things in this game is seeing the characters that come back from, like for example, there's a certain character. He's a very obscure character. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. His name is Shomen Mimoto, who comes back. And just seeing the contrast and the way the character develops from the OG TWEWY to this, it's so interesting. And it's so cool, and I love it. And it kind of plays into my next point of, again, this game is a love letter to the World Ends With You fans. There are so many callbacks, and there are so many little details, and there are so many little voice lines, and there are so many little text boxes that call back to small stuff in the original, and just fill you up with dopamine whenever you read them. And another thing is that about the writing in this game is that this game carries on the spirit of definitely trying to be hip and cool and down with the kids.
We are not saying what lines were said.
I'm not gonna say what lines being said, but it's definitely like, it's not done super often, so it doesn't get annoying, but it's quite endearing, and I thought it was quite funny when it happened.
The localization team had a lot of fun, is what I would say.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's all we can really say.
Yeah.
I definitely caught myself laughing at like some of the things, like, they really put that in the game? God damn.
Then again, if you play the original TWEWY now, you'll see those old references too. And like, if you didn't play around that time period, you're going to physically recoil into your skin. So they're just carrying on that tradition.
Yep, that's very true. Anyway, moving on from that, we also have, so that's the story I started writing. Again, we can't say too much for the sake of spoilers, but it's very, very good. It's very, 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 very good. Moving on, graphics. Neku, how do you feel about the graphics in The World Ends With You?
I was about to say, who's going first? I'm keeping my mouth shut. So,
keep the thing that you want to say
to piss off.
I know the thing that you're gonna say. Leave that at the end because I want to add on to that. But just other than that, what do you think about the graphics? Because I want to add on to that.
Are you talking about the thing I'm annoyed about, or the thing I'm about to call out?
The thing you're annoyed about.
Okay. When people tell me that Persona 5 has style and substance, I want them to look at Neo and tell me that again.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. And I say that as somebody who loves the Persona 5 UI like nothing else.
The Persona 5 UI, I will admit, is some of the most unique UI you will ever find in gaming, and it's still one of my favorites. But Neo has such a settled style that is centered around streetwear and graffiti and general like new age punk culture, that it is my favorite aesthetic I have ever seen. I cannot stop gushing about the graphics for more than 10 seconds when someone mentions them.
Yeah. How do you feel about the graphics?
I was just so happy that they were able to bring TWEWY's art style over to 3D. Because like a year ago, before Neo was announced, I was like thinking, I'm like, the next game is gonna have to be like, they're gonna make it somehow on the console. They're gonna make it 3D. I just don't know how well it's going to translate. And I had some worries, but then when that came true, I was like, well, I don't know why I was worried, because this looks fantastic. And I also like, so there's also just how they're able to do the environment, how the city, like the buildings lean and bend when you're moving around, and it's just really cool. The graphics, you know, even on Switch versus PlayStation, they hold up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd say, like, in my experience, actually, real quick, is that, like, other than, like, a very small amount of, like, frame rate things, like, when the game gets really intense, like, the game plays really well between both of them. In terms of graphics, for me, I like the graphics in this game a lot. I think this is easily the best form of Shibuya I have personally seen. Everything is very uber stylized, and everything looks super duper good. I love the fact that they kept with the 2D sort of sprites and portraits, and just the gorgeously drawn illustrations from Gen Kabayashi and Tetsuya Nomura for the story segments. I love the way they've done it with, like, the manga style, and I love that. I think that's super well done.
Mm-hmm.
There is a third artist. I'm trying to remember their name.
Do tell me.
Yamashita-san. That's who it is. Yamashita.
Yeah. So those three. I know they split, like, a lot of the designing. Like, I know Nomura designed Rindo and Shoka, for example, whereas Kobayashi designed Fret and I think Nagi as well.
I think that was Yamashita did Nagi.
Or Yamashita did Nagi. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, so there's a couple people designed, which is why they look so diverse. The characters, like, I like how everybody looks very distinct.
Mm-hmm.
What else? So yeah, I love the portraits. I love the UI. I love the style of the UI.
The fact that you can change the music on the UI.
Yes, I mean, it's something that TWEWY's always had, but it's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
The pig
the graphics are just really
fights.
good. Before we even get to gameplay, there is one thing that I have to say. Like, this is my only real complaint. It's not even really a complaint, it's just a tiny gripe that I have with the game. So, when you're walking in Shibuya, right? Again, beautiful, the best interpretation of Shibuya I've seen in any game ever. The game likes to give this feel like Shibuya is sort of, like, opening up or, like, leaning in around you with the buildings. Sometimes that gets a bit too extreme in certain specific areas in the game, and that kind of trips me up. That's a little bit trippy.
Can I say the area names? I know exactly which one people will talk about.
I mean, people could potentially be like, "Oh, I can't believe you spoiled that area's in the game."
You can look at a map.
I just thought of one.
Let's not. All I'm gonna say is that it's the Y-shaped street. There's a street that splits off into two roads, and it's quite narrow. That there's just the buildings. I feel like they're gonna collapse. But it's a cool aesthetic when it's used more subtly in certain areas of the game. Like 10-4 uses it really well. But there's some areas in the game that's just it's a little bit too extreme for my taste. But
10-4 and the Scramble Crossing are two very good examples.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about a certain boss fight, I won't say, but I remember noticing one of the buildings on the side just straight up was so twisted. I was like, that's not what a building looks like.
That is not what that do.
True. All right. Moving on swiftly from that, let's talk about gameplay. My parents. By the way, we are definitely deliberately like being brief with this. we could do a podcast episode on each of these aspects individually, to be honest with you.
And still have about an hour's worth of content per subject.
Yeah. Like, we could easily do that, but we're not gonna. We want to keep this quite brief because we're all tired and I still have to go back and play the game. So, gameplay. You could find, if you look through other episodes of this podcast ends with you, especially early on when there were sort of trailers and stuff coming out, I had my doubts about the gameplay and worrying that's not going to be it's going to be too simplistic and it's going to be, not fun. I would like to slap that past version of myself for he is a fool and he definitely needs a haircut. Because the gameplay in this is very different from the original, but it's more accessible, it's more customizable, and god damn it, I'm gonna say it here, it's more fun. I adore this new combat system. You have no idea. I play fighting games, I love action games. I'm a big gameplay guy. God damn it, I love the way this game does its combat and the way this game does its gameplay. It's so much fun. It's so customizable. Every good system from the original comes back. Every good system. Again, I want to keep this spoiler free, but like difficulty systems say the same way, and there's it's so good. It's so accessible. Like even like I know, for example, you were kind of the opposite spectrum of me. Like if there was like if I'm like not that much into lore but love gameplay, you're the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wanted to get through this game as quickly, but like also not too quickly because I wanted to enjoy it because I do like the gameplay. But like I wanted to get through it as fast as possible. Because I love story. But even like this gameplay, it is right up my alley. It's the kind of gameplay that I love, where there is still like skill involved, but I feel satisfied when I get to button mash. Like I'm just pressing X and Y, like going back and forth and back and forth, and I'm still like having to dodge and like think about what I'm doing. And it was perfect for me. Like with the original gameplay with The World Ends With You, I still adore the gameplay there as well. But I love PlayStation controllers, is what I grew up on. So it was just very nice to be able to use that.
Yeah.
Very comfy.
Yes.
Neku?
I adore the gameplay here. It's not as deep as something like Devil May Cry or like fighting games, but you can get very creative with your builds and how much you can do. I like to do what I call ping pong builds, where I'm constantly bouncing the enemy up and down off the ceiling on the floor just by using pins that rotate like that. And it has been some of the most fun I have done in a game for the last number of years.
Yeah.
Just keeping it short and sweet. It's good and you can express yourself in it.
That's the main thing. I mean, this is the crux of, like, this is my kind of fear, is that because OG TWEWY is so intrinsically intertwined with having, like, creativity in gameplay, it's just, I'm glad to see that came back, and it came back that strong. And they were able to adapt the sort of having different inputs and stuff to just a normal controller as opposed to the DS screen very well.
Every pin is viable too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This game is also more. So one thing about the game is that this game is definitely more challenging than OG TWEWY.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not.
If you play on hard mode, you will die.
Maybe not, because I feel like a part of it as well is that we've played, OG TWEWY to hell. So maybe we're just super used to how that game plays.
I'm not used to getting two-shot.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah.
Hard mode is hard.
Yeah.
Be warned.
You can't just level one hard mode this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some fights that I had to go down to easy and like max level because I literally could just not do it.
Yeah.
Now
I
it was
think-
a little underleveled, but
I mean, also I think it's good because I think it keeps you engaged. I think there's a couple of enemies that are a little bit annoying to fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in particular, like the dive missions, right? Like those are like some of the hardest things in the game right now.
I hated them. They're challenging, so they're. It was very, very fulfilling to finish them. But my God, did the amount of times that I was like, I'm done, and walked away. Because they're timed. And I want to get gold on all of them. The second that goes from gold to silver, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I will definitely say that dive missions have a weird difficulty curve. If you played Final Remix, you'll understand what dive missions are like the second you see them. And I hope you don't have PTSD from Final Remix missions.
I've never done them personally, so
Don't.
I don't want to ever.
Again, I 100% of Classic TWEWY, I 100% of Final Remix, and the secret missions in Final Remix are a nightmare, and this is very reminiscent of those.
Yeah, I knew, but the first dive mission that I went into, I was like, oh, this is like FM, the secret missions. I'm like, I'm going to hate this. It's challenging. That's all I'm going to say. That made me very spiteful. It's challenging, but it needs some balancing.
Is that why the game is a 9 out of 10 for you?
Yes, it was so frustrating.
Oh damn.
Understandable, have a day.
Especially with some of the noise that are in them, like pufferfish, for example. They take their time to explode. And
They do.
it's
They waste
timed.
time.
It's timed.
That is actually.
I don't know why they design an enemy that takes time to die.
Let's not
and
talk about too much about the enemies or anything, just because spoiler free and all that. But yes, yeah, no, those dive missions are a bit. Yeah, they can be pretty hard, but nothing you can't get over, and a lot of them are optional. Well, some of them are optional, not all of them. All of them are compulsory, but some are also optional. But yes, gameplay is awesome. Without going into too much detail, the social network system is also really cool. Basically, it effectively replaces stickers from OG TWEWY. This is how you kind of get your abilities and extra little things, and there's a ton of quality of life things in there, and there's a ton of like super cool things in there, and it's just it very slowly drip feeds you power and very slowly drip feeds you quality of life stuff, and it keeps the game super interesting. So I like the system a lot. It also just generally rewards side questing. But I think that's all I will say on that, unless somebody else wants to add on to that. Nope.
No, you pretty much got it on my end.
Cool. Which brings us to, oh boy, arguably the best part of the game. The music. Oh my God, the music. This is, I shit you not, probably my favorite part of the game. The music in this is, you know what? Let me collect my thoughts while Neku tells you how much he loves the music in this game.
If any of you know fun facts about the original TWEWY, you'll know there's one floating around saying that the original game on the DS was like 40% music on the cartridge. And there is a reason for it. It's because the music was stellar and everyone remembers the soundtrack when they pull it up anywhere. Square and Ishimoto did not have to go this hard on the music for this game.
But
There
they
are
did.
a lot of remixes, there are a lot of standalone tracks, there are a lot of new tracks, and they're all good. Every single track is one I can listen to on repeat.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, what do you feel about this?
I love music, and that was one of the biggest appeals with TWEWY. That in the story were my favorite things of the game. And so it's still that with Neo. I mean, I'm listening to the soundtrack right now, and it's just so good. I went and downloaded as many. I ordered the OST. I'm just so excited to own it and be able to listen to it constantly. Like, that's what I listen to TWEWY music in the car because I hate the radio and I can't connect my phone to my car. So, TWEWY music is a great replacement. And there's just so many, all the songs are so good. I don't hate a single one of them. I don't even dislike a single one. They're all so good.
Yeah. I'd say I probably have like 15 to 12 hours in the game right now. At least 10 of those hours has been spent in menus listening to music. Like, when I tell you, I can't get over how much there's OG tracks, there's remix OG tracks, there's brand new tracks. Every single one of them is amazing. There is not a single song in there that I dislike. And I'm not just saying that, and I'm not, okay, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but still, they're all really stupidly good. I kind of want to say, like, there's some songs in here that gave me goosebumps. I kind of want to say which ones they are, but I'm not going to.
Nope.
But not only is the music really good, there's also a ton of it. There is a lot of songs in this soundtrack, and like
about 4 hours worth of music, by the way.
Yeah, and like you never get sick of it, and like there's always music is always rotating. Like each area will have a set of music for when you're out and about, and we'll have a set of battle music that will rotate through as well. So you're never hearing the same song over and over again. You're always hearing like a set of songs like on repeat on different days. So you never get sick of the music either, and if you're not nodding your head along to them, or you're not having stuck in your head by the end of a play session, then you probably don't have a soul. You should get that checked out. But now that I've offended 10% of our listeners, we should talk about our general thoughts of Neo: The World Ends With You, and how we feel about it in general, and final overall review of the entire package, and all that good stuff.
I feel like we did that at the start.
Yeah, I feel like we did too. Yeah,
unless you did, yeah. Unless you don't have anything to add, I do have a couple things.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing I need to add about this, just the game in general. I can't remember a AAA release that was this polished on release. Like, this game is so full of little details, so full of polished little things, so full of sanded corners, that I can't remember the last time a game came out. Like, this game feels complete. This game, out of the box, feels complete. But, like, I can't remember the last time a AAA title was this polished on release. And it makes me very happy. It makes me feel really happy to know that they put so much love and attention into this game. I don't know if there are any if you guys have any thoughts on that.
I think that's true.
I guess that's, yeah. One other pointer about the game is language locking. I believe I think you paused up my, right? Or both of you?
This was me.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
So Floral Laurels, who is my partner, who does the wonderful art for this podcast, Ends With You, Shell.
Oh boy, these avatars look amazing. Does she do commissions?
Yes, she does, and we will post them in the description, as we always do.
Oh my god, please tell me more about this artist.
I got nothing. I already told you what I do.
Damn it, why did you... Okay, just talk about the thing. Just talk about the thing, whatever. We'll move on.
So, they are learning German. And one of the best things you can do to learn a language is to immerse yourself in the language. Mm-hmm. There is a German voice-acted version of The World Ends With You. You have to buy a German copy to get it.
Yeah. Or a European copy, right? Not necessarily a German copy.
No, I think it's just a German copy.
Oh.
Because we only have English and Japanese in our copy, and I'm pretty sure all of them have Japanese in them, but they're all localized to their areas.
Huh. I didn't know that.
So yeah, that's annoying. I don't know why they would do that when they already have the lines and the ability to, put it in the game.
Yeah, that's really weird.
It do be like that.
It's the only complaint I have. It's not even about the game. It's just about how they shipped the box.
Yeah. I think that's in conclusion. Again, probably game of the year for me. I'll be playing this many, many, many times. I love it. I adore it. I shall name my firstborn after it. I could sing its praises more, but I don't think I can sing its praises any more than that. It's a game that I've been waiting for 14 years that couldn't possibly stand up to the standards that I've set up for it, and yet somehow surpassed them. Like this, I shit you not when I say this game is everything I wanted and more. That's actually how I feel about it.
I find it funny that you say you've been waiting for 14 years. And it feels like that, but you haven't. But that's just how much time for TWEWY feels like. Everyone's been waiting. Everyone's been waiting for 14 years, regardless. It's just that's how much everyone wanted it.
What about the nerve of you? You weren't even duped twice like we did. You didn't even go through the countdowns.
I have been crying in the corner and have gone through 2 separate countdowns for 14 years. That's all I can say.
So yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have to do that.
I'm glad you didn't either. Genuinely, people who came into this fandom late, I am so happy you are not traumatized.
I guess now my main thing is I really hope this game does well so that this becomes a full-fledged franchise.
I need more.
Yeah.
Apparently, it has been sold out and is shipping second shipments already.
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign.
There we go. And that is our entire review of Near the Ones with You in under 40 minutes. What a concept. Amazing.
Yeah, but now we have news to talk about, which means we're going to talk for the next hour.
News! Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Having fun?
So, bad news, everyone. My soundboard system is still broken. Thank you, voice mod. I appreciate you.
I've been trying to find a solution.
But, it's fine. Nothing... this stream may be held together with tape, but nothing... The show must go on, folks. The show must go on. And go on it shall. And it shall go on by talking about this beautiful piece of Gen Kabayashi art, which is the cover of Famitsu. Was it last week?
8/12.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's coming up.
Oh. I've lost all concept of time.
It's okay. That's how TWEWY fans' brains operate. We can't tell time.
Nope.
See, when you're waiting for something for over a decade, time no longer matters.
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
But yeah, I mean, look how far the game has come, man. Mm-hmm. We were people who like we saw it on Anime Expo's cover and we lost our minds. This is just, man, this fills me with happiness. Just seeing this. It doesn't even matter what's in it. It could be trashing The World Ends With You, but the fact that it's on the cover makes me happy. Man, look at Sho, bro. Like I love his man.
You can hear him melting.
It's fine. It's fine. All these characters are amazing. Oh, Nagi and man, I cannot wait until we get to talk about this at length. By the way, if you guys are wondering, we will be talking about the game at length. Basically, what we're going to be doing is that things are going to be a bit weird for the next couple of weeks, just because I'm going through a lot. I'm kind of heading in masters, so the podcast scheduling might be a bit off the next couple of weeks. But in time, what we want to do as a podcast is we want to go, every time we do a podcast, we talk about like 1 or 2 days in the game or 1 or 2 segments of the game and talk about it. Kind of like how we did with the anime. And then we'll eventually get through the entire game. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna show you guys, and we have some reactions recorded to show you guys then. But we are gonna be going through sort of the game and seeing how we go with it. We just really want to give time for people to comfortably play the game, enjoy it, relax into it before we do it. We don't want to rush anybody into doing it or into wanting to play the game just for us, you know. So that is one thing. It is the Famitsu cover. In other shocking breaking news, IGN don't know what good games are.
But that's not news. Everyone knows that.
Too much water.
So there's some glowing reviews cards, you guys. I don't know what the hell a game skinny is, but they gave the game a 10 out of 10.
I don't think we need to care about that. Just give it 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And it's on the official Metacritic channel, so it's an official partner for Metacritic, so that's a good thing.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the reviews for this are glowing. Like, this is the thing. It's not just like us 3 TWEWY fanboys love the game. It's the game genuinely seems to have a lot of like general appeal. Which I owe a lot to it's just aesthetic. To be honest with you, the aesthetic of the game is very appealing.
The aesthetic, the gameplay, and the music have sold this game for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you know what? It's good to hear. It's almost... And then we can go around with our heads held high and our noses hanging up about how we are the pioneers and we were into it before TWEWY was cool.
The flag on our backs, we stamp it into Square Enix headquarters.
You see these scars? I got these scars from 2 countdowns. You don't have these scars, kid.
We got the scars from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh God. But yeah, again, very good. And like I'm only now hearing the news that you said, Neku, about the game having shipping now going to second shipments. That's awesome. I'm really happy that that's the case. Moving on, we have interviews with Tetsuya Nomura and Genkai.
And this wasn't English, so I didn't have to read it.
Yeah. There's a lot in this interview, and it's all quite interesting. We're not going to go through it in too much details.
We're running out of time.
Because we're running out of time. But it is actually quite interesting. Like, I think some of the facts that were in here... There's 2 big pieces of information that are in here that caught my attention. One is the fact that... so Neku had the headphones, right? Covering his ears. And Rindo has the face mask covering his mouth. They are based on the monkeys Hear No Evil and Speak No Evil.
Jupiter of the Monkey.
So it's that's quite a cool thing, and I can't wait for the protagonist of the next game to have a what's his, oh god,
just
I'm
a blindfold.
Yeah, just like have a
Near Automata blindfold time.
Blindfold, yeah. Also, another piece of information that's in here that shocked me. Apparently,
he was not happy when he heard this.
Apparently, Sho's outfit from the original game was based on Nomura's wardrobe, which effectively makes Sho a self-insert for Nomura in The Ones With You.
How do you feel about that, bud?
I feel fine. I feel fine.
You're a Nomura sim.
I feel. We're gonna move on.
Thank you for that wording.
We're gonna move on. We cannot move on. Actually, you know what? I mentioned this earlier, but
Ahmed, how are you gonna play the sound if the soundboard's broken?
I don't know. Let me figure something out. You know what I say? You know what? You know what I say? You know what I say? Oh God. God damn it! Hold on. You know.
Wow.
You know what I say, Neku?
Are you getting the kazoo again? Is that what's happening right now?
The show must go on, Neku. Oh God. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to merch we can't afford. Yay! You gotta clap. We don't have the clapping noise. You gotta clap.
Yay!
With me, your host. It's God, that's so tinny. That's so loud.
It's Amadeus underscore.
It's me.
Amadeus underscore, your wonderful, wonderful host who is a Nomura sim.
Yeah, okay, is this can we not? Can we not with this? I would not do this to you.
You've been torturing Mai for 10 episodes. It's your turn.
No.
Thank you.
No. Please no. So on this episode of merch we can't afford, there isn't a ton of merch, but there's only a couple pieces of merch, but by golly, we cannot afford any of it. Which is
it's all expensive as hell.
But it's all expensive, exactly. But we start off with we have fully what's the word? There's a word for it when you can move the parts.
Posable.
Sure.
It's a Bring Arts figure.
That's what I'm thinking of. Fully articulated. The World Ends With You figure, Neo The World Ends With You figure is based on Rindo. Is the first one. Look at this. Look at my boy.
He does look so good.
It looks really, really good.
I love the Bring Arts figures. They always look good.
Yeah. This one looks really good. But I'll tell you one that looks even better. Boom.
Nomura.
The Show Minimoto, my boy. Yeah, I'm so glad he got one.
Now.
I'm surprised that he got one.
Same.
I'm really surprised that it was Rindo and Show. I'm kind of surprised that those were the first two that got announced.
Oh, I need to point out something that Flora pointed out to me.
Sure.
Show is wearing heels.
I mean, they're boots.
The heel boots.
That's
though.
a distinct heel.
Yeah.
Nah, they're boots. Look, man, have you never worn boots before?
I literally am wearing boots right now.
Those look a lot like the boots I own.
I think we have one more piece of merch. Okay.
there it is.
It's okay. We're done with.
We're done with merch we can't afford. We're done. No, bring it back. Bring it back. I have to be on my side for this one. I've been torturing you all episode.
We got a Joshua
host.
you guys.
Thank you.
I'm very pleased. I've been wanting a Joshua figure for a while, and now I'll have one.
Have one for your
Am I
goddamn
insane or does that
shrine.
arm look removable?
Huh?
Am I insane or does that arm look removable? Is this a, changeable statue?
I don't think so. I think it's just a weird seam, I guess.
I guess. Just look at it and tell me you don't think that's removable off the top of your head.
Why, you want to break his arm?
Yes.
I never said that.
I said that. I want that.
Yeah.
I'd buy that just to fucking
Just
break
to
his arms.
break it.
Well, Twitter video incoming. Ahmed breaks statue.
Well,
I think I'm going to be obligated to make a video of me throwing Joshua plushie down the stairs, though, because I made a joke about it before it was announced.
he did.
That if one happened, you'd throw it down the stairs.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I said it over a year ago. I'm like, I want a Joshua plushie. Just I'll buy two. One that I can, throw down the stairs when I'm mad at him, and another to, hug.
So one is gonna be bruised and burnt and tortured. The other one's gonna be snuggled.
Yes.
Sounds like a Joshua fan.
You know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for new people to start watching or listening to the podcast. And then they're
not gonna understand.
They're like, why does this brown man hate this white prissy kid so much? Look, I have my reasons.
Oh man, you can't phrase it that way.
I have my reasons. All right.
You can't say it that way.
Watch me, bitch. All right.
Moving on. What's the last piece of merch?
It's fine. All right. Moving on. Oh yeah. There's the ones with you. The animation is getting a Blu-ray a Blu-ray release.
Yeah,
and it looks good.
Yeah, so it is out now. It's been announced, but now it's finally for sale.
Hell yeah! Again,
you can see it comes with that special booklet too.
A good way of experiencing the TWEWY story. So buy 7, throw them at your enemies.
Hey, what I will be doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, doesn't it also come with pins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes with 4 you can use and 1 to burn. It's very handy of them to include that.
I feel like you're threatening Neku, and I can't appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. That's the one. That's the character. That's it. That's the end of merch that we can't afford. Let me lock my phone again. Yeah, there we go. Yay!
Oh my
We
god.
did it. And it's the end of this podcast with you. Yay! It's short episodes. We did it under 2 hours.
Yay.
You guys think I go too far for jokes sometimes?
No.
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it, and that's all. It's a short one today. I did not lie.
Quote unquote short.
I mean, we're under an hour right now.
That's not short by most podcast standards.
Sure, it's short for our standards, bro. Like, you have any idea? We've had so many podcasts go over 2 hours now.
Yeah. Speaking of podcasts, when's the next one?
The next one, my dear Neku, is happening next week. The 8th of August.
That's an off
Mai,
week.
were you informed of this?
That's an off week. What the heck? I'm supposed to be on vacation.
Were you informed of this? I was not informed
I
of
guess I
this.
have to come home early. Dang.
No.
That's interesting. It is an off week. I wonder what's happening then.
What are you... Ahmed? What are you doing? You can't run a podcast with just cardboard. What are you doing?
But what if I do it with more people? That's a thought.
I see we're getting replaced.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
You know,
I'm scared of getting kicked off the podcast now.
you might be getting replaced. You know who will never be replaced
Oh.
though? Willow, Bun,
Our patrons?
Exora, RSP, Vetaslow, Shinkojin, Dark Dude, Saimat Shipper, Krista Ventresca. Krista, I've been
He
calling
got
you...
it right. Everybody clap.
God damn it. I've been saying Christia forever. I don't know why. My brain inserted an extra I into that name. Christia... no, god damn it!
You did it again.
Krista Ventresca
Ahmed Konishi.
and Kyle Turpy. There. I did it. Are you happy now? Are you happy now, guys?
I'm concerned for my spot on this podcast. I wouldn't call that happy.
Yeah, I need to make a flight now. Dang.
Save the dates, folks. You're gonna want to be here for this one. It's gonna be a big one. You want to be here. It's Sunday and it's not Saturday, but trust me on this one. You want to be there. Also, a day before my birthday, which is neat.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. But yes, and now I'm gonna go back and play some more Need the World Ends with you.
Yeah.
Frankly, that's my plan. I don't know about you guys.
He's behind us. He's late.
God damn it. It's really weird, these people who I've literally told about the ones with you, and now they're further than me in the game. It's messed up.
Welcome to being a podcast and very successful channel host. Let's go.
There's a successful channel host here? Who?
Ahmed, I'm going to slap you. Have a good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Good
We'll see you on the
night.
8th of August.
Joshua supremacy.
What the fuck?